Hi user, welcome to my channel Learning with Khatak. From the last couple of days, we are recording lectures about character array, string array, and then pointer, and then how to use a pointer notation with the array, with the string array, with the C style string and string class. In the last lectures, we have shown that how to use a pointer notation to print the element of the array, and then the individual elements are printed using the name of the array and then a pointer notation. Now in today lectures we are going to see that how to insert and display data entered by using pointer notation. So simply we want to enter element inside the array using the pointer notations. So for that purpose, I have declared an array, my array, that is of type double, having size 5. So it means that I can enter 5 elements inside my array, and all these elements will be of type double, means a decimal point will be there inside the element. So for that purpose, if you look at this, insert data using pointer notations. So enter the four numbers. Yes, we are going to input 5 numbers. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, so means array elements always starting from index 0. So 0 up to 4, it means 5 element, and then cn, look at this, that static my array plus I. So here my array is basically an address of the starting element, and content of operator means content at the particular address. So if we interpret this line, what does it mean? That my array contains the address of the starting element plus I is a counter variable that point out to 0 index. So means simply store element at the starting address of the array. So the content or the content of operator or the static operator simply means that whatever you enter from the keyboard, that will be stored at the starting address of the array, the address contained by the my array. So first time the I point out to the location 0, so it means whenever we are enter a first element from the keyboard, this will be stored at the 0 index, and then I will be incremented by 1. So in the second repetition of this loop, the second element will be stored at my array plus 1, means at the first at the index of 1, and then at the index of 2, 3, and 4. After 4, when I becomes to 5, the loop will be terminated, and we want to print here display data using pointer notation. So here in the second loop, we want to display all the elements we have entered in the first loop here. Now in the second loop, we want to display these elements. For this, I use a for loop, and then display value of array of I, see out my array plus I. So here the content of operator again means that the content at my array holding an address of the starting element. So content of the starting address, and then I, when first time increment I will become 1. So then content or content of the second address, content of the third, fourth, and so on. Whenever the loop will be unless the loop is terminated, all the content at particular address will be printed on the screen. So if I run this program, so it gave me enter the fourth elements. So all the elements are floating points, double values. So if you look at this, so 4 and then 8 points. So sorry, there will be 5 elements because the size of the array 5. So display the data is 2.2, 3.4, and so on. So this is very simple method to use the to print the element of the array using the pointer notation. But if you want to print all the elements of the array using simple name of the array with the index notations, you can use it even for int I is equal to 0, I is less or equal to 5, and then I plus plus, and then cout uh, my array of I, and then end line. So if you look at this, simply I'm going to comment it cout array element using name of array. So this is that will print me all the elements So if I run this program now, again 1.2, 2.2, 3.4, and 5.5 and 4.6. So display the data. So this time this loop is displaying the data using the pointer notation and array element using name of the array, while these elements are displayed using the simple name of array. Here we did it in loop number third. So, in very short and very simple way, we have shown that how to insert and display array element using the pointer notation, and then how to display element of the array using the name of the array. So, uh, we can enter or display element of the array using name of the array, and then we can also display the element of the array using the name of the array and pointer notation. So similarly, if you want to insert element into the array using the name of array, you can also do that. So let me do it. Cout enter array element using name of array. So that is for and I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, and then cn uh, my array of I. So this loop is now used. Okay, let me do one thing more. Enter array element using name of array. So here I will enter 5 elements. So this time I am going to enter 3 elements just, and then we'll display the 3 elements here. So if I run this code, first time I will input the 4 elements, 5 elements. So 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. So these elements will be displayed, display the data. So 1.1, 1.2, and then another way, enter array elements using name of array, enter array elements using name of array. So this time I am going to 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3, 3 elements will be, and then array elements using name of array 2.2, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. So let me summarize all the things. I want to insert and display data entered by using pointer notation. I want to just enter the elements of the array using the pointer notation, and then want to display the element of the array using the pointer notations. For that purpose, I have declared a double type array, my array, having size 5. So it means that I want to enter 5 elements in the array, and we know that the first element will be stored at index 0, and then second element will be stored at index 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the last index of the array will be 4. That's why I'm going to use here I is less than 5. Or you can even use I is less or equal to 4. So the first loop is used to enter the array element of the array using the pointer notations. So if you look at this, this is a pointer notation, star operator, and then my array. And similarly, the elements entered here in this loop, I want to display these elements using the pointer notation. So if you look at this again, this is the pointer notations. This will used to display simply the entered elements in the first loop, and then in the second case, I want to enter the element inside the array using the name of the array with the index operator with the index notation. So first time I use pointer notation, and second time I use simply the name of the array. So again, this loop will continue for 3 times because I just want to enter 3 elements. I start from 0. So the first element will be stored at 0 index, and then second will be 1, and third element will be stored at index 2. So that's why I keep the conditions that I is less or equal to 3. And similarly, the elements entered inside the array using the name of the array will be displayed by using the name of the array here, array elements using name of the array. Again, the loop will be executed for the 3 times, and then content of the array will be printed on the screen using the name of the array. So thank you very much for watching this interesting lectures.